All right, we turn our attention to play against the Florida International team that's really playing pretty good basketball. One of the top scoring teams in the country, assists, one of the top steals, creating turnovers and possessions. So it's a game that, I'm sure for our guys and for them, it's going to be an up and down game. Two teams are not going to hold the basketball and try to create some havoc with their defense. I think that's what they try to do, and obviously that's what we're going to do. The Beard kid is a really good basketball, real clever. He leads them in scoring, I think, assists, and probably second or third in rebounding. He's a really good basketball player. But they got multiple guys. They're really dangerous in transition. So it's a team that's, I think their record is 7-1. They've been on the road and played some places and won some games. So I'm more interested in our guys, coming out and getting better. We had a week's time since we played a game. I think we played last Friday, and so now we're going to seem like we had games every other day, and then you get this big lull. So I'm sure our guys are anxious to play somebody other than themselves.
How much benefited from this week's practice, and Jordan Phillips in particular? What's it done for him?
For our team's sake, I think it's hopefully it's been beneficial. We'll know when we play, but we've had some quality time to get in the gym and get some shots up and continue to work on execution. I think that's the biggest part. Defensively, we certainly got to get better. We got to continue to rebound by committee, and then also we got to recognize when we have advantages and take advantage of it offensively. So I think just from a timing standpoint, especially for a guy like Jordan, to get those reps. I think those reps are so important, and that's what we've been working on. Just working on trying to get more repetition.
You guys are in a pretty good groove there, some good wins, and then you don't play for 8 days. Do you worry about maybe losing some rhythm or getting a little rusty, or how do you approach that?
Well, this is the first for these guys. They've been going. All of a sudden they got a lull, so we just have to challenge them in practice. I think that's the key. Put some scrimmaging periods in there where it's still like game-like situations. I think you got to be creative with that. So I'm sure our guys are anxious. I know they're anxious to play. I know they're anxious to play.
And with Jordan, he had so little practice. Can you see a big difference in him just this week because he's finally gotten on the floor?
It's coming. It's coming. I think sometimes you've been out so long, you want to do something so bad that it doesn't go the way you want it to go. So I just I don't want him to be pressing. So I just tell him, hey, just kind of go at your own pace. But I think he's doing a good job of getting in there and working with the coaches. Even after we get through practicing, he's working on doing some extra stuff to try to get into a rhythm.
Is Isaiah Joe surprised you as a shooter, taking as many charges as he does? A lot of perimeter players.
No, I saw that when we recruited him. I saw him as being one of those guys that's going to be a total player. I think he handles the ball well. He can pass the basketball. He's got a good basketball IQ, and he's pretty much in position. That's all about IQ and reading the floor, help position. I saw that even when he was coming up. I mean, they've done a pretty good job with him. He's a well-rounded player, and obviously, his best basketball is going to be in front of him. He just got to continue to mature and get stronger. That's it.
Mike, I guess Florida International leads the nation in forcing turnovers. I know they haven't played the marquee
but still, that's
schedule.
pretty impressive, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You're almost averaging 100 points. You're forcing that many turnovers, and not only you're scoring off of them, and not only that, you're still in the basketball. It's pretty impressive. I mean, and of course, Ballard, this is his first year. He was with at VCU with Shaka and that group there. So obviously, he has the mindset of wanting to create havoc, up-tempo defense, and they're going to play about 10 guys. So they just keep coming at you in waves, and all those guys are pretty versatile in terms of handling the basketball. So you can put pressure on people offensively and defensively, but again, they're playing pretty good.
Do they press a lot, or how are they?
Yeah, they're pressing. Oh yeah, they're pressing. They're coming at you. They're very similar to some of the VCU teams that they had over there with Shaka.
What sets Beard apart, and kind of any players you've played against that he's comparable to?
Well, he's so clever. I mean, he's quick with the basketball. He can really pass the basketball, and he keeps people. Hesitation. He's kind of a mixture of old school, new school, because he hesitates with the basketball. He makes great passes, clever passes. You know, a lot of guys are fancy, but here's a real clever. Just got a good feel for the game, and I think he's a big key to their team. He keeps the tempo up. He's not he's scoring points, but if you notice, he's shooting a high field goal percentage too, and so but he's getting everybody else involved. I think that's, to me, what I mean. He's an attacking guard. He attacks, and attacks. Gets to the free throw line as well.
Yes. What were your takeaways from Adrio's game the first month of the season? I thought he played pretty well defensively and kind of gave you a lift with his jump shot.
He's getting better. He's getting better. I think, the more he lets the game come to him, I think the more, he's going to have an opportunity to shine. I just want him to continue to play with that energy. Adrio's an energy guy. And, a lot of times you play with that energy and you're playing with a guy like Daniel who's demanding a whole lot of attention. Obviously, somebody's going to be the recipient of all the attention that Dan's getting. They're going to be the recipients of what is there to come, and so you got to take advantage of it. He's got some shots he's open, knocking down. That's good. He's getting what I like. He's getting attacking to the basket as well. He's getting to the free throw line and he's making free throws. So you expect that from a guy that's probably of all the guys you got, has probably played the most minutes of anybody here.
Mike, was the 3 games in 6 days and then none for 8 days, was that just kind of a byproduct of that tournament where you had to get those exempt games in a certain amount of days?
Yeah, it was that winter that it fell into. But, obviously we could have probably had some games scheduled in between. But I think it works out. But we had a window of 2 weeks where you get those games in, and now we got those in. I mean, that's you think, what do we play, 5 games in the month of November? And I think we got 7 in December.
You think for young team, we're starting to play some games and you kind of go back to the laboratory, so to speak, with a week of practice, and then that's odd during the season. You normally don't get that unless you're in finals, and now you get to kind of take what you've been applying, in practice.
It worked. It worked out like that this time.
And you guys obviously are used to pressing each other and playing up tempo. Do you feel like you're well prepared for the style that FIU wants to play? Because that's your all's MO.
I think the fans, the people that get a chance to come to this game are going to be in for a treat, because it's going to be an up and down game. It's just 2 teams that like to get up and down the floor, up tempo. Obviously, we like to press, and they like the pressure, and so. But I think one of the things we got to do is we got to take care of the basketball. We got to be in attack mode. I think that's got to be the key, and obviously, hopefully, our pressure can have an effect on this game as well.
Was there anything particularly you focused on with all this practice time the last week?
Just the execution. That's all. Trying to spacing with our guys and just getting better at what we're doing. I think defensively, always we talk about always have an opportunity to get better. Keep emphasizing about rebound and tempo. I think it's just everything. We've only been at it for less than a month, in terms of playing games and getting feedback. So now, with individuals, I think a lot of individuals had a chance to go and work on some things and get better. The free throw lines, we cannot ever not shoot enough free throws or get in there and work on it. So, but I think more important, the execution part of it. There are some games where we hadn't, we kind of got away from what we were doing in terms of ball movement, people movement. But each and every game, I could just see us really starting to gravitate and really pick up on the things we're trying to do. Our assist numbers are up. At times our turnovers are down, so you get that going in the direction. We're rebounding the ball a lot better. We're getting much better shots. Again, I want us to be in a position where we get more possessions than the opponents. And so now you got an opponent coming in here that looks at it the same way. That's why I say it's going to be a lot of up and down, and hopefully a lot of make shots.
Yeah, and you look at Jalen, he's got almost a 5-to-1 assist turnover ratio. 20. I mean, I guess it'd be exactly that if he had one more assist. 29 and 6. That's really good numbers. Well, what do you think of that? And are you a little surprised the guy who didn't play last season is doing that?
I think this team is learning each other. I think, with Jalen being that guy that kind of orchestrates things, I think they're learning each other. He's learning, hey, okay, Mason's over there. He can knock some shots down. There's Isaiah, and you got guys now running the floor. You got Adriel and them, Reggie Chaney them running the floor. And then, of course, with Daniel, I mean, you throw it up there, he can go get it. I think, he's a pass guard first. And so it's good to see him really, valuing the basketball, but not only that, but getting other guys involved. That's what good guards do. They get other people involved. And it's amazing how that unselfish play, it just trickles through your team. It has a domino effect. It's just like the Chargers. I mean, we're probably taking more charges right now than we probably did all of last year. Why is that? Well, obviously Gabe is a guy that takes him. Now you got another guy that's competing to take him, and that's Isaiah. And before long, Keyshawn, he's taking some charges. So now you get multiple guys, and I tell you what, that puts a lot of pressure on teams from a defensive standpoint for us, because we're trying to protect the rim. And when you look at Florida International, it's a team, they love to attack and kick. And so we've got to be on the spot defensively, cutting the lanes out and getting out to the shooters.